Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today I have a video that I've kind of been promising on a few different fronts. We're gonna get a few birdies with one stone here. I've been asked a lot if I was planning to do a thoughts on recent purchases, which is a monumental task. I don't mind, trust me, but it is a monumental task because there's been so many new holiday releases. But speaking of holiday releases, it's been so overwhelming that a lot of people in comments have been saying, I don't know which to buy, I can't buy them all. Which neutral one should I buy? Which colorful one should I? So that's kind of a combination video that we are going to do today. Plus we have sales coming up and people want recommendations for. We're going to start with just the eye palettes because that kind of gives us enough for today. I have 26 or more at last count. I'm looking at my table here. 26 or more brand new holiday eye palettes. And when I say holiday, I mean those that have been released mid-September through late October. There's a lot, and I've tried to get all of them, as many as I could. Obviously, I don't have all of them, obviously, but as many as I could of the kind of important ones that we've all been talking about. And now that I've had some time to live with them myself and play with them a lot, I've also had time to speak to you guys in comments about your experiences, and it's really formed a better opinion. Some of the palettes on this table that I'm looking at here, I do not like at all, and I will let you know. Most of these are really nice palettes, and it really depends what you're looking for, what your skin tone is, and what kind of experience you like with your eyeshadow. So all of this is just my opinion, and I'm trying to be very broad. If I really don't like it, I'll tell you. But for the most part, they're all really nice, okay? So let's get started. We're gonna have a lot of hair flipping because you know me, and I got my diet soda here so that I won't just cough through this. We got Dr. Pepper Cherry Zero, not sponsored, but a girl can dream, right? I need like a fan to blow my hair or something. Okay. So we're going to start, we're going to do prices too, because that's kind of important. We're going to start with the By Terry Bonjour Paris palette. This is, again, these are just palettes that have been released in the past 6 weeks or so, guys. Holiday releases, 2021 holiday releases. This is, to me, if you are a fan of By Terry, the best By Terry palette so far. It continues this Terribly Paris theme with the lovely, Terribly Paris, as in By Terry, Terribly Paris theme with the lovely Paris skyline reflected not only on the gorgeous container, but also, oh, if I haven't ruined it by digging into it so much, reflected on the inside of the palette as well with the imprints on the shades. It is a lovely, very well-performing neutral palette. We are going to go to the swatches, and what I've done, I did something a little differently just for this video only with my swatches. I did kind of a combo of bright indoor lighting with sunlight. So it's kind of a little bit of a combo here in a few different rooms. I was changing around to get it right. So it's a little bit different from my generalized videos, but I want to show you this on the arm. Here is the By Terry Bonjour Paris palette. It is a $56 palette. It is a beautiful neutral palette. And if you are interested in trying By Terry, this is my favorite By Terry palette yet. I just think they get better and better. A lot are asking me if they would reach for this in comparison to, say, some of the other neutrals. Maybe not, but for an everyday, well-performing neutral palette that is also in a beautiful case and supports a brand that is a lovely brand, I do recommend it. That is the By Terry Bonjour Paris palette for $56. Moving on, we have two mini Too Faced palettes in our inexpensive, relatively for high-end makeup, in our inexpensive category. Yes, it is true that Too Faced did come out with their larger palette as well, but I'm just doing ones in the last 6 weeks, so please know that. We have our Forbidden Fruitcake palette and our Christmas Coffee palette. Both are $27, little minis, both as you'd expect, are delightfully scented, as all Too Faced products are. I will, by the way, link below my original reviews on all of these so you can see a demo and you can see more comparisons. This is just a brief kind of overview, but I have linked original reviews to every single palette here below for you to look at. Okay, so let's look at Fruitcake and Christmas Coffee. They are very similar, but they're $27 and they are adorable. They both perform fairly well. Here they are side by side. Here is the Forbidden Fruitcake that I'm shaking right here. And here is the Christmas Coffee palette. Both are lovely. I'm showing them to you here, and then I want to talk about them. Both are $27 stocking stuffers, and I'm going to show you them here on my arm in kind of a natural / daylight light. We have Forbidden Fruitcake on the left, and Christmas Coffee over on the right. As you see, they are very, very similar palettes. If I were to buy only one of them, I would get the Forbidden Fruitcake. I think it is better performing. There is a nice little duochrome in there that I really like, that I think the Christmas Coffee is missing. Here is the duochrome, and I think it's fun. It's not anything that you haven't seen before, but it fits in well with the color scheme. It's really nice. A lot of people in comments didn't like that the Christmas Coffee palette suggested a lighter color story, a kind of light blue pink, and then you open it and it's a little bit of a different version of the Forbidden Fruitcake. This palette is getting more attention than the Fruitcake one, but I think the Forbidden Fruitcake Mini is better. So there you go. If I had to choose one, I'm fully going with this one. All right, let's delve into some more controversial territory, and I have some to talk to you about with this. These are the 3 Charlotte Tilbury holiday releases for 2021. We are going to start with the 12 pan that she does for every holiday. This year it's called Smoky Eyes Are Forever. This is a $75 palette in this beautiful black casing with 12 shades. We are going to look at them on the arm, and I love them. A lot of folks say that these are similar to some of her other 12 pans, maybe, but this is my favorite 12 pan ever from Charlotte, so you know I'm going to recommend it. I think the shades perform brilliantly. I tend to skip around rather than sticking to the 4 looks that she has put together. But there's no rules. You can stick to the rules or not. And I think it is just a beautiful, well-performing palette. Let's talk about the 2 quads. We have 2. We have Celestial Pearl and Cosmic Pearl. Celestial Pearl is a very, very light palette. I'm going to show you these swatches on my arm in a moment. I've done all new swatches for this video. Celestial Pearl is a very, very pretty palette. It is extremely light. Some folks felt a little bit hard to see and didn't feel like there was enough color payoff. So then Cosmic Pearl came around and just punched us in the face with its color. Kind of literally, because what did we all say about Cosmic Pearl? And none of us had watched any of each other's reviews. We all said, oh my goodness, it looks like a black eye. So Cosmic Pearl did look like you'd been punched in the face, whereas a lot of people felt Celestial Pearl didn't have enough oomph. I love Celestial Pearl. I think it's beautiful. With Cosmic Pearl, the trick does seem to be not to take this. I don't know why she goes with this Prime Enhanced Smoke, pop or whatever anymore, but it's not to take this kind of duochrome that's in here and put it all over the lid. That's where the punched in the face effect comes. It's kind of nicer on the outside, but I gotta tell you something. Do me a favor. See what country you're in. I can't find this anymore. It says out of stock on Cosmic Pearl everywhere I look, and it's not out of stock. I'm sorry. This thing did not sell that fast. I have a sneaking suspicion, and I do not know this on any authority, that they just took it down. It was just a mess for them. Check in your country and tell me if it's still available, if you would, please. And if you're in America, back me up, let me know. I can't find it. It says out of stock on the Charlotte Tilbury website. I'm like, oh my goodness, they went oopsies and pulled that back. I don't know. I appreciate the innovation. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. So Cosmic Pearl is not a bad palette, but I wouldn't buy it. If you have it, it could be kind of cool. It's like having that coin that they accidentally print upside down and then it becomes worth a ton. So maybe to have one of the only Charlotte Tilbury failures on your hand. I'm not saying it's a failure, but why is it out of stock? It didn't sell out, trust me. I'm just saying. All right, speaking of controversial, let's discuss this Gucci palette. By the way, these Smoky Eyes Are Forever are $75, and the Celestial Pearl and Cosmic Pearl are $56 or $53 American dollars, depending on where you look. It's another weird thing. But they do have this pretty white pearly case. And I do like Celestial Pearl. But the only one of the three I actually recommend is Smoky Eyes Are Forever, the 12 pen. Okay, I said we were moving along to this Gucci. This Gucci is $149, not $150, $149. My, again, original review is linked below, along with shopping links and all that stuff, because I know we're all starting, some of us, to do our holiday shopping early. This got a lot of attention for its casing. It's a piece of Gucci that becomes affordable because Gucci is unaffordable in so many of their other products for most of us, okay? The thing with this palette is then the colors, the eyeshadow colors pop out and leave a lot of people were going, oh, I'm going to put jewelry in it. I hope it's not too big. Maybe a flat hoop earring, maybe a necklace. And I guess it pops out so that you could put future palettes in it, but where do you put this one then? I'm not entirely sure. The colors are very, very pretty. They have just enough mattes and just enough shimmers. Let me show you it in the pan. Okay, and here it is on my arm. I do like all the color choices. They're very, very pretty. Interestingly enough, it has become already kind of a collector's item for me. I do have obviously a lot that I'm working through here. However, this one I just never think to reach for. It has a very 70s vibe, and that's really fun. But I just don't think to reach for it. It's a collector's item, and it's a little bit strange. It's certainly gorgeous. The flowers are beautiful. It's very reminiscent of the latest runway show from Gucci. I don't know if you need it for $149, but I am not your bank manager. Chanel, $65. We have our palette to celebrate the anniversary of number 5, Chanel number 5 perfume. So we have this lovely embossed, let's see if I haven't ruined it yet, with 5 and these beautiful shades. They're all kind of very gentle glitter toppers and this really beautiful onyx shade. I created in my video a lovely look with it that I'm thrilled with. It's a bit of a one-trick pony. It's not going to give you a ton of looks. It's not meant to. It's beautiful. It's Chanel. It comes in this lovely velvet velour palette. And it's quite lovely, and I highly recommend it, but please don't think you're buying a palette that's going to get you a ton of looks for $65, whereas if you spend $75 on Charlotte Tilbury, you're going to get more than 4 looks. So again, not your bank manager, but you know, you're paying for it to be Chanel, you're paying for it to be sophisticated and gorgeous, but you know, it's a one-trick pony. Okay, we all understand. Rare Beauty. Oh gosh, help me with the Rare Beauty. This is $29, therefore very affordable. It's called the Came to Play palette. Every time I look at it, every time I swatch it, I love it. It's beautiful. Take a look at it on my arm. As I said, it's $29. I love it. It's beautiful. I will never pick it up. There is no reason for it. Look at those swatches and tell me they're not gorgeous. There is no reason for it, but I will never pick up this palette. It doesn't intrigue me or interest me enough, even though I can remove myself and admit that it's beautiful. Even for $29, why? It feels like some of these celebrity lines, they get really excited and then get involved, and then they just kind of remove themselves, and it's like, okay, just think of new colors and put it in there. I don't know. Please come for me in the comments if you are on like the Selena Gomez army. I'm okay with that. The pressed glitter is really chunky. It's beautiful. It's got like a duochrome shade to it. Maybe it's just very, very young. It's really pretty, and literally I will never remember I even have it. Okay, continuing with the controversy, Westman Atelier has these iPods for $88. Now let me talk to you about these. I picked up just one of the shades. There's a few different ones, and I'll link the video below. I don't think they did much, and everybody's telling me use your fingers or use the Westman Atelier brush. I just don't think they did much, and in my video I took issue with the fact that they were $88. But hear me out with these iPods. I have no trouble spending good money on good products, and I love Gucci Westman. Honestly, who would say anything about Gucci Westman. She's an amazing, amazing makeup artist. For me, $88 is too much for these because there's not enough color payoff. I love me a subtle eye color. I've been experimenting. I've used my fingers like you guys told me. They're beautiful. They're packaging. They're magnetic. They come with a little dust case. They're absolutely lovely, and they're so subtle and so pretty. Pretty is a great word for them. I just don't know when you would need anything to be this subtle and this pretty. But subtle and pretty are kind of a theme in quite a few of these palettes. We could also really say that about the Celestial Pearl Charlotte Tilbury palette and about another one that's coming up, or two that are coming up here. So it's also just kind of a look that's going around. And so many of us are used to swatching Pat McGrath and stuff and getting these like, bam, shades. So maybe that's just it. They're lovely. It's a luxury experience. I feel more luxurious with my $65 Chanel palette than I do with these $88 iPods. Come for me in comments if you want. Remember, at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. And if yours differs, I love the dialogue. So definitely comment below if you agree or disagree. I welcome both. Speaking of Pat McGrath, as we just were, we have 3 holiday eye palettes. We'll do face and blush and all that stuff at another time. We have enough on our plate now with just eye palettes. So we've got 3 Pat McGrath eye palettes out for holiday 2021. This is going to be a tough one to recommend. First thing we have is the $78 Mega Celestial Odyssey. That's the first one that we have. That's $78. And it's like every color in the rainbow, but no special shades. But I really like this color story better than last year's Mega. Last year's Mega I never really used. This one I definitely use a lot more. And at a $78 price and with inexpensive but really kind of sturdy packaging, it's really nice. I horrified some of you in my video when I just went ahead and just clipped these that keep the palette open. They were driving me crazy. And people were like, you ruined your palette. I might have, but I like it better. But I'll tell you what I like the best, and this I am in the minority on. I love both of the quads. We have Deep Space Divinity and Bronze Borealis. We're going to go to an arm swatch soon. I didn't forget. I'm just trying to move quickly here. So this is Deep Space Divinity right here. And here is Bronze Borealis. A lot of people took issue with these two palettes. They felt there was a lot of fallout. They felt they were a smaller amount. They were a little bit less money, but a lot of people felt they were a smaller amount and that the colors were just too been there, done that for Pat McGrath, who is generally so innovative. I just think they performed well and they're gorgeous. I mean, what do I know? I just like them on my eyes. And I will reach for these quads more than I will reach for the Mega, because the Mega, sometimes in the morning, you just don't want to think that much. Let's look at them on my arm and you'll see what I'm saying. You see that Mega palette swatched and boy, you want to just dive in. But remember, in the morning when you're getting your look together or getting ready to go out quickly because somebody surprises you with a phone call about dinner, sometimes you're just like, oh, I just want a quad that's just going to be quick and work. So my recommendation for all 3 Pat McGraths is actually, believe it or not, the Bronze Borealis. I know, it's just another neutral. It's just beautiful though. It's really, really pretty. Those are $54 each, and I think they're quite lovely. I just don't want to mess with the Mega. Great introductory price point, but I'm just like, yeah. Okay, let's talk about Natasha Denona. She did something interesting. Maybe we'll have another one for holiday coming up. You know, I always do these videos and then there's another release and I'm like, ah, darn it. But anyway, as of filming right now, we have 2 interesting little releases from Natasha Denona. We have the Mini Metropolis, which is $25 and has 2 shades from the original Metropolis, the Mommy Metropolis as I like to call it. And we have 3 new matte shades that are very useful indeed. And then the Baby Glam, which is $19, and it's not sitting here because I didn't get it. It has 3 repeat shades. I swatched it from my bigger Glam palette, but all 3 are repeats. They just made it into a cute little ornament so that it's a nice little stocking stuffer. So here is the Mini Metropolis. I'll hold that up for you. It's really pretty, and the 3 new matte shades really make it versatile and make it work quite well. with the original Metropolis if you add in these 3 mattes. Let's look at both swatch on my arm, Mini Metropolis on the left and Baby Glam on the right. Again, the reason I didn't hold up the Baby Glam is I just swatched the 3 shades that I already have in my original sized Glam palette. Which one do I recommend? I don't think you need either. I think if you have to have one or the other, it would be the Mini Metropolis. I am actually wearing the Baby Glam on my eyes today. I thought I would give it a try before I said, if you're going to buy the Glam, just buy the original Glam, unless you're providing a gift for someone or an intro to Natasha Denona. Same thing with this palette. Really pretty. Comes with a little synthetic brush, actually, that's quite useful and nice. You know, yeah, I don't think either are necessary for your collection, frankly. Okay, but I love Natasha Denona, so you know I'm saying it with love. Wayne Goss has released quite a lot lately, but his most recent palette that we'll call holiday for our purposes here is the Tourmaline palette for $55. It is a very pretty Wayne Goss neutral. The only departure is, of course, this is I believe this is 2nd in a row, maybe 3rd, without the all black shade because he listened to the feedback there. And the Celestial Topper shade is much more of a topper and less pigment to it, but I appreciate that. I think that's really nice. Great use of space, easy to get brushes in there. You could use that topper as also a highlight. For maybe the tops of the cheekbones. Very pretty, very well performing. Wayne Goss is another brand that is growing with us, taking the feedback and using that feedback as we go. If you're a Wayne Goss fan, you won't want to miss it. If you've got your plate full of neutral palettes that you aren't going to use all of, it might be one to skip, but it is very nice performing, and it's probably my favorite of all the Wayne Goss palettes. For $55. Let's look at Glossier. So Glossier did their little monochromes. I picked up Jute and Teak. Let me talk to you about these guys. Here's Jute. Here's Teak. Let's look at them here. And then I swatched them for you with Jute on the left and Teak on the right. So these guys, you know, they're really pretty. They're monochrome, and the idea of them is, again, my original review is down below, but the idea is that it's the same shade in 3 different formulas. So you kind of get the matte version, the metallic version, and the shimmer version. It's a really cool idea. These metal cases, they pop out, so you can buy the whole thing for $22, and then you can buy a refill or another insert. It just pops out for $18 and in US dollars, and just pop it back in. It's actually a really cute idea. Glossier is a very youthful company. I don't ever think to use them. I don't know why. If I didn't have a lot of makeup in my collection, I think they'd be really fun, and I think they'd be something that my teenage daughters would use a lot of. Not that they're for teens, because Glossier isn't. It's youthful, but not young. It's just not something that, again, that draws my attention. It should, but doesn't. I don't think it's something you need, though the idea is really cute. Okay, it is. It is. There's nothing on this table. There's only a few things on this table that are actually stay away from. I'll review what those are at the end. Most of these are good buys, and you would love them if you had them. Okay, let's talk now about Dior. So I have 2 Dior palettes that I picked up, and these are the Dior Backstage, because Dior Backstage is my favorite. We have the plum neutral and the bronze neutral. And boy, if I had a dime for every time I was asked which one should I get, plum or bronze neutral, I say plum. I almost only bought the bronze, and on a whim I added the plum in so we could compare them on the channel. Let me open them up for you. If you don't know anything about, I don't know if you know a lot about Dior Backstage, guys, but if you don't, they are the beautiful embossed. My fingers have ruined it. And the Dior Backstage also, as you see, always starts with a base, kind of a cream base that helps the colors show and stay. I just like the packaging. Some people say it looks kind of cheap for Dior. I kind of like it. I'm in love with all things Dior Backstage. Let's take a look at the swatches on my arm. We have plum on the bottom, bronze neutral on the top. I think bronze neutral is absolutely gorgeous, but I have it 100 times over. And I think the plum neutral is just a little bit more innovative. And I don't usually wear purple. You guys know that about me. But when I have the 2 in front of me, I reach for the plum. It is still neutral with a tad bit purple leaning, a plum purple. It's really pretty. I really like it. That is my That is my suggestion of the two. Okay, let's talk about Nars. Nars has released a lot for the holidays. We're just doing the holiday eye palettes now. Nars has done this really cool kind of wrapping. I always call it Nars in bondage, or caution Nars, but it's supposed to be little wrapping paper, and I'm just making fun because you know I love Nars. We have the $59 Bijou palette, which is the largest eye palette that Nars has ever done, and it's got a little bit of something for everybody in this. It's got like colors that you would find in the Climax palette that was recently released. It's got glitters, it's got shimmers. You can make any look with this baby. It's very colorful, pretty, and really well performing. So I totally recommend this for a colorful palette. And then they did these cute little unwrapped minis. This little guy, very tiny. Look at it. I have a small hand, so it's really tiny. This little guy is $25. I picked it up in Laguna, but you can also get, you know, look, they're doing their classic shades. You could also get the orgasm shade. I have to say it every time I talk about Nars. Or, you know, shaded palette. They're beautiful, really well performing. 25 bucks. Wouldn't you love to have a little present at the holidays, this little thing? And look at how cute it is. So really good performing. Love them both. I think the larger Bijou is worth it for $59 because it's got a really good performing, beautiful shadow. We're almost done. We're moving through here, guys. Fenty Bomb Posse for $48. I stuck in here because it's a fairly recent release. You know, boy, this got a lot of flack. It's not that bad. I have made some really pretty looks with this. The shades in here are not as impactful as they should be or could be. They don't last as long on the eyes as they should or could. You can certainly skip it and you won't be missing anything. But if you haven't, you're probably enjoying it. I have made some beautiful looks in some videos even with this palette. It's very, very pretty. Absolutely unnecessary. It just doesn't perform well enough in my opinion. Speaking of something that a lot of people have different opinions of, I included the Urban Decay Naked Cyber palette, $49. Yeah, this one got a lot of flack. I think it's pretty. Let me take out the brush that no one uses. I think it's really pretty. This is a prime example of the public crying and screaming that we get the same palette over and over again. Do something different. Do something different. Then Urban Decay comes along, does something different, like Natasha Denona did with the Circo Loco. And where do we all go? Ooh, where am I going to wear that? I can't wear that. So, you know, we got to pick one. I think it's really nice. A lot of people felt that the shadows didn't perform well, didn't show up enough. This was that example I mentioned earlier of those kind of gentle palettes, like the Westman Atelier iPods and the Charlotte Tilbury Celestial Pearl. It's one of those super gentle palettes. You might get frustrated with it. I suppose in a way we could put the Fenty eye palette in with subtle palettes as well, not by its own. I don't think the Fenty palette was aiming for that. I think it just doesn't perform well. But, you know, we're going to look at this one on the arm and see what you guys think. It's very, very, very pretty. You do not need it. You don't. It's kind of forgettable. I mean, take issue in the comments if you want. I'm totally cool with that. I'm just trying. People are desperately asking me what they should save money on. So you guys have to understand, I like them all, but I got to take an axe to some of them because people are really coming to me for that information. All right, here's two very recent ones that I'm absolutely in love with, have nothing bad to say. Good old Viseart. We have our Bijouette palette and Cashmere palette. The Cashmere is my favorite neutral for the season. It is neutral, just kicked up a notch. I love it. I've done on camera one of the favorite looks I've done in a long time with this baby. And here is the Bijouette. It is color with just enough deepness to it that it's not shocking, if that makes sense. And in the swatch here on my arm, I have got Bijouette on the bottom and Cashmere on the top. These are definitely recommendations of mine. They are $44 each, and they are absolutely beautiful. Plus, I believe in supporting really good independent brands like Viseart. So of these, I think it was 26 palettes. What can you really live without, guys? You can live without the Christmas Coffee palette. You can live without both of the Charlotte Tilbury Quads. Sorry, but it's true. You can live without the Gucci palette. You can live without the Rare Beauty. You can live without the Westman Atelier pods. You could live without the Glossier Monochromes. Sorry, but it's true. You can definitely live without the Fenty Beauty and without the Naked Cyber palette. In terms of color, everything else is amazing. The best color palettes are the McGrath Mega, the Bijouette by Viseart, and you're going to get the most looks out of the Charlotte Tilbury palette. You're going to get the best neutral would be Cashmere, I said, and the best, that's about it, you guys. All of these are really, really, really good palettes. I listed the ones that I just don't love. I had to pick something, guys, but if you disagree, let me know. And here's where you come in. What specific questions do you have? You know, it's like when you're in a class and you're like, I have a question, but it's kind of weird. Like, you know, no questions are weird. So now come to me with your specific examples, questions, formulas, color swatch comparisons, because I'm really happy to compare over on Instagram for you too, so you can let me know over there or here in comments what questions did not get answered. I definitely let you know the ones I don't recommend if you're in a quandary. And again, the Dior, I like the purple better, the plum better. I like the I let you guys know. Just let me know your questions, guys. And we will move through the other holiday releases as well, not just the eye palettes, but I just wanted to get them in and talk really fast. I didn't even get to drink my soda. So do let me know your comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I sure hope that you did. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel so I can see you all in the next video. Bye-bye, guys.